Brilliant stuff. Well, we'll see what you can do. Keep an eye on the 926 then. Nikita Nikishov just starting a little further down. We've got Toby Gale here. Now, this is, Toby, this is your first year in karting, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, and, you know, you're starting P11 on the grid here at an international event. First year karting, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, just doing my best and seeing what we can do.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck out there and make sure all those corners, they're not too bad, are they?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good stuff. We'll wish you the best of luck, Toby, and we'll see you out there. And racing will get underway after a few warm-up laps. Here we go then. It's Mini X30 final. 36 drivers, or 30 drivers, I should say, about to do battle as one kart not getting away well at the back of the grid. That was Alfonso Azevedo. Here's how they'll line up then for the first final. Daniel Miron will start on the front row with Jesse Phillips alongside Nicolas Garcia and Maxim Bovazhov. They'll go from row 2, taking 3rd and 4th place. Mario Manchard and Gustavo Marquez go from row 3. Angelina Simmons and Dan Alaman go from row 4. Nikita Nikishov and Zanek Babacek round out the top 10. Toby Gale, in his first year of karting, starts on the 6th row with Andrea Mani alongside Charles Sayer and Romeo Mello. They go from row 6. Martin Marquez and Samuel Woolley go from row 8 with Winston Camperin and Mason Robinson rounding out row 9. Londono Brando and Alvaro Perello go for the top 20 on row 10 with Nilis Malek and Ivan Gonzalez taking row 11. Jeremy Ruvers and Beatriz Costa go from row 12 from Vicente Campella, and Ruben Perez go from row 13. Jan Rodriguez and Francesco Lopez go from row 14, and the back of the grid, David Minchuna and Alfonso Azevedo. The drivers make their way round for their second warm-up lap. And like we say, 13 laps of racing about to get underway before one of these 30 drivers will end up on that top podium. Welcome to everyone around the world from wherever you may be watching the International Games this year on Facebook, YouTube, or motorsport.tv. Again, you can keep an eye on all the live timing and results as we go through the day on the RGMC website and, of course, ukart.io. As the tension builds, the nerves rise, every single one of these drivers would like to end this weekend on that top spot. But who is it going to be? 18 corners are about to decide over 13 laps. We will find out who is going to be our I-Ame International I-Games champion in 2022 in Mini X30. Round the final corner they go. Into the tram lines. Is it good? For first time of asking, lights out, here we go. Great start from every kart on the grid in towards turn 1, and a great start for Miron. Miron instantly holds on to that lead, holds on that inside line, but Jesse Phillips has been swamped by the pack. We were saying that that outside line was going to be difficult, but he's managed to hold on. It's only P4, so he's only lost a couple of positions at the start of that one. Everyone climbs up the hill now as Garcia moves up slightly into the scene. Bovazhov as well, relatively good start as the entire field goes through. There is Bovazhov, you can see him there in P2. So the whole field a bit sideways in the back of shot there as everyone just finds that piece of tarmac, and now the entire grid just looking to try and gain places. But right now, Daniel Miron is leading the way, and he has got a sizable gap between him. Then there's these three, Bobajov, Phillips, and Garcia. As Phillips dives to the end inside, Garcia follows as well. So it's not Garcia. As they cross the line then, they'll update. So Miron leads from Phillips, Bobajov, then it's Babacek, Alaman, Mani, Manchard, Nikishov, Garcia, Marquez, Simmons, Gale. Breakaway now top 4 line astern. You could argue that there's 6 of them in that gap, but there is a bit of breathing space between them. Alaman and Mani, who are line astern, who are the main racers in that battle earlier on in the day, now again next to each other. Again, back down the hill through 10 and 11, and this clear breakaway now for the top section. Pulling out of the slipstream goes Bobrajov, pulls back in. Babacek still there in P4. So they've organised themselves back into position once again. Phillips just checks over the shoulder there just to see what's happening as he goes down the inside, gets that move done, takes the lead of the final in the early stages. But remember, this is a long race. He has got to stay there and maintain that lead for a very, very long time. Bobrajov again pulls out of the slipstream as Babacek defends in towards turn 1 as now Dan Alaman comes through. Keep an eye on Andrea Mani as well, who's also trying to get involved but stays there just behind. So again, so close between these drivers as again Babacek gets the move and contact as Alaman goes up on his wheels and out of the race, or all falling down. I believe that was Bobrajov. Bobrajov, the 916, has dropped down the order and is around 15th place now. And that's a disaster for the young driver who's had such a brilliant weekend. And again, contact and Alaman goes up. It's not Alaman, sorry. I apologize. That's Majad there in the 933 who goes up on his wheels. So again, drama in this mid-pack section as all of them just try squabbling for track position. Big look over the shoulder for all the drivers, just trying to see who they've got next to them. And again, overtakes happening left, right, and center in this mid-pack. All the meanwhile, it's allowing your race leaders to break away. They're clear already by some 2 seconds now, the top 3. So now Phillips leads from Miron. Babacek still there in 3rd, but he is losing touch of the front 2. Who, of course, they will work together and will break away from the main pack. So we'll have to see what happens between these two then as the race progresses. We've still got a long way to go, 10 laps, of course, in this one. And Phillips not looking over the shoulders. He's just thinking, I need to crack on here. And I think Daniel Miron knows that, you know, they need to work together. Otherwise, if they don't, the whole pack's just going to catch back up to them. So they've got to be careful. They've got to be careful here. So close between the two of them, nose to tail. Babacek still there in 3rd. Is he closing in? It's around 0.8 of a second is the gap visually out of the window. It does look like 3rd is catching. But can he close up to make it a group of 3? Still there, Andrea Mani in P4. Great start to his race, 8 places gained. Gustavo Marquez still there as well in P5. Jarlis Sayer, good start to his race also. He's up into P6, 7 places gained. So again, drama in these first few stages as once again the race leaders swap positions. And this is interesting. Miron now leads and they've closed that gap up. Babacek now getting part of this 2 at the front. It's now a trio. If they keep scrapping like this, everyone's just going to close up. Remember, this is a one-off event. It's not a championship. Whoever wins this one is the winner. That's it. It doesn't matter where they have points throughout the weekend. All of that is out the window. That was only to determine the starting grid for this one. If you finish on top in this, that's it. You're the winner. And Miron is currently leading. Babacek still there. He's now latched onto the back of Phillips. These two now need to work together because there's a slight gap now between themselves and Daniel Miron. And straight away, Babacek's thinking, I want to go for the move. But again, thinks against it. That slipstream is so powerful down this main straight here at Campios. And here goes the move. Babacek down the inside, gets it done. Moves up into P2, sets the fastest lap of the race as well. So kept that momentum all the way through. And now he moves into 2nd place the Czech driver, showing he's got what it takes here. And again, down the hill they go, and he's got the momentum in towards the braking zone of turn 11, but doesn't go for the move this time. Stays behind, looks over the shoulder, thinks about going for the move here into 12, and he does go for the move in towards hairpin 12, and Phillips follows. Phillips there now in second place. Daniel Miron down into P3. There is still, again, a long way to go in this race. They've got to be so careful that they don't allow the group behind to close up. And there are a clear breakaway between the two of them. I-Ame and Gustavo Marquez are in that pairing. So Marquez now leading the two just behind of the 930 and 912. But this group here, first, second, third. Babacek, Phillips, Miron. There's the two behind, Marquez and Mani. The gap 2.6 seconds to the race leader. Keep an eye on that one, because that may start to come down if they keep scrapping the way they have been. But still, Babacek leads. Again, look how close Phillips is getting there. Gets so much momentum down the hill. If you can get a good exit out of turn 8, you can carry so much speed through turns 9 and 10. Into 12, no positions gained. Now they're starting to work together. They're happy with the position that they've got and are working together now. The gap, 2.4 seconds. So it is closing. Gustavo Marquez and I-Ame are closing in on these two, but it's at a very slow rate. It is going to be a challenge for them, but of course, it's at what point in this race do these three drivers pull the pin and start going to see who will win this race. There's the gap. 4th and 5th, then it's 6th, 7th, 8th on your screens here. Jarlis there, Dan Aleman, Nikita Nikashov. Nikashov at the back of this trio. Dan Aleman in the middle as he goes to the move. Jarlis there gets moved out of the way there. Now down 2 more positions. Simmons is there, Mashan is there comparing also. Bobrov, after that earlier incident, is back up into P12. So wanting to fight back in this one. But again, they've got to work together in this mini category. If they fail to do that, they will lose the 2 drivers in front and they won't gain any time. It is a waiting game in the mini X30 race. Who makes the first move? Tucking in goes Nikita Nikashov, finding every piece of energy he can out of that kart as they go through again turn 17 and 18 back onto the start-finish straight. Nothing's happened at the front. They have stayed the same. Nothing's happened here. The gap is still 2.6 seconds. They're not gaining, they're not losing. It's a stalemate. So Marquez and Mani, they are going to have to wait also until the front 3 start battling. And again, so talented to stay this close to each other at this speed around this track. The momentum they can carry through the corners, the slick tyres, the Comet tyres working well here at Campios. The time's tumbling down, but it's been such a long weekend. Drivers are exhausted. I'm sure the karts are as well. The teams have done a fabulous job with maintaining all the machinery here this weekend. And right now, Babacek's kart looking the strongest, leading this trio. And again, no positions gained or lost for the top 5. They've all stayed absolutely line astern. Bobrov, though, has moved up into P10. Managed to get past Jarlis Seya. He's now down into P11. Martin Marquez still there, P12. As keeping an eye on this, I-Ame now with the fastest lap of the race. He's with the 2 drivers behind. So that gap has come down only by 0.2 of a second, though. 2.4 seconds separates this trio from the 2 behind. And again, Gap's not coming down fast enough. Time is quickly running out. We'll get to probably around lap 10, lap 12 before we'll start to see drivers going for moves left, right and centre. But so far, Babacek holding on to this one, checking over the shoulder there just to see what the situation is. And don't worry, it's not changed, but you do have to worry a little bit because you've got Jesse Phillips and you've got Daniel Miron behind you. Cross the line they go again. Lap 10 starts. Absolutely nothing between these drivers as positions are gained and lost. Remember, Babacek started way back in the order. Babacek started in position 10. 9 places he's gained to lead this one. And so far, it's going pretty well for him. Down the hill again, and Phillips, every time he looks like he's going to go for a move down the inside, he just brings it back. As again, Marquez and Mani, and here comes Phillips. Phillips early on, we weren't expecting this so soon, but Phillips goes for the lead. Phillips gets it, and Babacek gets squeezed onto the exit curve there as Miron also moves up into P2, and look at the breathing space they've given Jesse Phillips now. Phillips leading by about 0.4 of a second as they exit out of turns 13 and 14. But he's in a bad spot here because remember, 8 wheels works better than 4 as they exit through 17 and 18 back onto the start-finish straight. The slipstream will take effect and that gap will close down. In towards turn 1 again. Mani now Miron, now checking over the shoulder. Babacek still there, they've not lost touch. Once again, every single race we've seen in Mini X30 has finished on the line. The gap's closed once again. Phillips leads from Miron, Babacek, Marquez, Mani, Nikashov, Alaman, Simmons, Bobrajov now back up into the top 10 in 9th. Mashar still there in P10 as Phillips goes defensive. Defensive into 12, bit of a jostling there as round the outside goes Babacek, tries to get 2 for 1, he's got one of them. Phillips goes defensive, he's going to get the switch back here. No, he can't. Phillips closes the door, denies Babacek the chance to retake the lead. Down in towards turns 15 and 16, hugging that inside line, prevent anyone sending it down the inside. And now look, Marquez and Mani, they have closed in. It's now a 5-way battle for the race lead as they come out of the final corner. And here comes Andrea Mani. Andrea Mani now up into P3 and fighting for P2. He can't quite get second. Phillips now leads. Babacek still there. Andrea Mani for Miron, for Marquez. Marquez now trying to go around the outside. Mani gets squeezed and Miron goes through. Marquez swaps position. Marquez now up into P4. Phillips now with an advantage here, and if he can break away with Babacek, they might have an opportunity here to drop the drivers behind. So as quickly as they gained, they've lost out so quickly as we go on to the final lap. There's only a few positions or places they can get this move done. And again, Babacek trying everything he can to the outside. Watch out for the switch back here. Phillips knows how to defend in this corner, but all the action happens when they get to the start-finish line. Side by side, down in towards 15 for the final time. The drivers are so close to each other, but Phillips holds on to it. Babacek now is lining himself up for a run on the start-finish line. Watch out, it's going to be a run to the line. Side by side, here it goes, checkered flag, but it's going to be Jesse Phillips who takes the win for the UK. Babacek crosses the line P2 from Andrea Mani, but Jesse Phillips at the end of 13 laps wins the Mini X30 International Games here at Campillos. After 13 laps, the young driver, after an incredible season of racing, here on his own, the lone Fusion driver in this class, takes the win. And what a result for him. What a result. You can't take anything away from Babacek, though. He drove an absolutely beautiful race. The same with Andrea Mani. Babacek gaining 8 positions, Manny gaining 9. Phillips, who started on that front row, struggled at the start. He dropped back to 4th. But he came through to win Mini X30 here at Karting Campillos. There's a look then at the provisional classifications. At the end of that race, of course, all these drivers will have to go into scrutineering to get checked, and the final results will be posted a little later on today, so make sure you have got your results pages up. Make sure you have got those results wrapped up on the website. You can head to I-Ame, of course, and ukart.io to check those results. There's a look at the rest of the classification